Welcome to the first Inventor video for Engineering Design 1. In this video, I will show you the basics of getting into part files, drawing files, and then how to start your tutorial. There is a ton of built-in tutorial goodness in this Inventor software. This is a free for educational purposes software, so they are definitely trying to help make it easy to learn the software. If you already know Inventor, you can kind of skim through these videos, maybe skim through some of the tutorials, make sure that you know the pieces that are important for this context. And if you know SolidWorks or Fusion 360, I think you'll find it's a pretty fast change to Inventor. If you have never used a CAD package before, I would strongly encourage you to find someone else who either is just learning Inventor for the first time or is learning Inventor after learning a different software, and work through these tutorials together. You will each see it a little bit differently, and you'll be able to help each other when you get stuck. Engineering is not a solo activity. Find a few people and learn together. So I've opened Autodesk Inventor. What you're seeing here is the home window. Before you've ever opened anything up, it might be completely empty, but you can very easily access the template files to make a new part, a new drawing, or a new assembly. Our focus is going to be on parts with a little bit of drawing explanation or instruction. Drawings are useful if you're going into the machine shop or you're trying to get something built and you need to know kind of the basic dimensions in our context. Part files are where we'll model things. You can send those part files to a 3D printer. Lots of good stuff you can do there. We will not be forming assemblies as part of our classwork, but you're welcome to poke around in there. So when I open a part file, it opens a new part. And this is the piece where I'm going to send you to the tutorial for where to find all of your buttons. But inside a part file, this is where I can make 2D sketches and turn those 2D sketches into 3D parts. All of your tools are up on the ribbon, just like in a Word document, just like in almost every program at this point. So 2D sketches are where you put the 2D information for some kind of shape. Extrude, think Play-Doh. This is where you take a 2D shape and you simply make it 3D by stretching it through space. Revolve, think about a bearing or a teacup, coffee cup, where you might have a little cross section shown here, and you can revolve it about an axis and get an axisymmetrical part. It's pretty cool. We won't do a bunch of these, but a sweep, you could think about like a pipe or a duct, where you take a rectangle or a cylinder and then you sweep it along a path. Loft, this is like a tapered wing design. That's actually a really cool 3D model they have as their example, where you stretch a sketch through space, but it might change its cross-sectional area through that space. We can make helixes. We can use a hole tool that creates all sorts of different holes for hardware. We have fillet that takes a sharp edge and makes it round. Chamfers chamfer adds a bevel there. So all sorts of things we can do to 2D sketches, but it all starts with a 2D sketch. So I'm going to send you to the tutorial to figure out how to use this, but know that your views in Inventor, you can switch between views here. You have different planes and different axes and an origin here. And so that's kind of the basics to get you started, especially for those of you who have used a CAD package, but maybe not Inventor. So now if I just want to close the part file, but not the whole thing, and your views are also up here. I've closed the part file, but not the whole thing. I'm just going to click that small X and I go back home. Okay, drawings. I can open a drawing file. It defaults to huge. This is an ANSI large. I think it's size D. So if you hover over the edge of this drawing sheet and get that red line, it's subtle, but it's red. Right-click on the red and you can edit the sheet. And when you edit the sheet, we print on size ANSI A paper, 8.5 by 11. and now suddenly it's more reasonable. What isn't reasonable is that does look pretty big to me. So let's look at how we can modify our sheets. We can change our background or title block, I should say, just by deleting the one that's there, finding title blocks, and then let's say ANSI A. We're going to insert an ANSI A title block. It's a little bit smaller. I guess we can compare it here. Well, I don't want to, so you can compare it ANSI A, ANSI large. I will also provide for you a CETA template, but this is just the basics of Inventor. We're getting on 5.5 minutes here, so next I'll get you into the tutorial. When you have a title block, there's this thing called, oh gosh, iProperties here, where I can add, for example, a title, and it will propagate in the title section. You can add it automatically. I'm not good at zooming in Inventor yet. It automatically puts your username in the drawn box. I can add a title. It tells me there's only one sheet and this is size A, stuff like that. You can add a view of a file using base view. It's easier to do if that file is already open, that model file. And then you can project from that to get your right view and top view. You can also make an isometric view here, that sort of stuff. And if you ever want to just head home, you can also use this right here, My Home, to, without closing drawing one, head home. And then the last piece I want to show you here is that there's an amazing tutorial gallery. So if you have never used a CAD package before, or if you're completely new to Inventor, this is a good place to start. I generally click on the novice, and then what I want to start with is basic part modeling, right? And let's see here. I think there's a way to, oh, hold on. Learning path. So tutorial gallery, I suppose I should say this is, if you've used some CAD because you already know what you're trying to figure out, but if you are 100% new to CAD, you probably want to start on the learning path, and I got those two confused here. So you can start here. It's a real short overview video, and then this is all of the sketching tutorials, a part tutorial. You can throw those parts together in an assembly. You can make a drawing, and these are just really great tutorials. There's videos. You can hop into a part file and, okay, I need to close that. And so there's videos, there are questions and answers, and when you're ready for the next task, you go to the next task, and it walks you through how you can use all of these different tools. If you've never used CAD before, or if you're having trouble finding tools in Inventor but you're familiar with CAD, step through these tutorials. I will have a list of them up on the Brightspace page. So Inventor tries to make it really easy to learn how to use the software. Remember that you can always go home here. If you want to get off or go back to the original learning path and kind of hop in and out, you can. If you know you want to look up a particular thing, like you want to know how to do a sweep or how to create detail drawings, right? Then you can find those in the tutorial page here. You can also narrow by keywords. So check it out. Definitely ask each other for help. Ask professors for help. Ask tutors for help. We're all in this together, and definitely working together makes it a lot easier. Last tip, if you are stuck for more than 15 minutes, and 15 minutes is even a long time here, if you're stuck on one thing, you can't find a button, you're having trouble with a sketch, something's broken. If you're stuck for more than 15 minutes and you haven't asked for help, whether it's email or stop by or find a friend, then you're wasting your time. None of this should take more than 15 minutes to figure out a single step. The tutorials take more than 15 minutes, but looking for the line tool or the trim tool, that should not take you long at all. So ask for help early and often, and please don't waste your time getting stuck and not raising your hand in some way to ask someone for help. I strongly encourage group work. and I hope you enjoy getting to know Inventor.